All right, Silver Stream Bengals lovers, cat lovers alike, it is your master catter Lucas bringing yet another recipe for how you can make cat food at home. Now, I will say in advance, you can find a lot of information online on what to feed animals. Okay, this is not me telling you this is the go-all end-all diet. This is me telling you what it is that I do here at Silver Stream Bengals to create the diet for my cats. One of the reasons why I like sticking to raw food is because when animals get like crusties around their eyes or really dirty buttholes, a lot of that's happening because kibble is basically just like giving a child chips all day. You can find kibble that's like has good nutritional value out there, but they also dehydrate the meat, and cats in general need a lot of water. So one of the biggest issues you're going to face with having a cat in general is dehydration over long periods of time. Cats don't like drinking water out of bowls. It has to be running water. Their instincts tell them this water is stale, it's stagnant, it has bacteria. They have the bacteria in their vocabulary. There's bacteria in here, I shouldn't drink this. Because of that, we have water fountains, which I will disclose a link to that in the description below. But also, wet food makes their poops smell like death. When you feed a cat a raw diet, all the crusties go away, their buttholes get clean, their eyes get clear, their gums stay clean. Recently, I discovered this book, Natural Cat Care by Celeste Yarnell, PhD. There's a lot of really good information in here. When I was looking at how to make the diet, she encouraged doing 10 to 15% vegetables. I thought this was crazy, as I thought that cats were something carnivores, it's an O word, carnivores. But as she explained it, when they're eating prey in the wild, the prey, like rabbits or squirrels, they're eating nuts and grains and herbs. And because of that, cats are eating that inside their tummies. When I started putting vegetables in, all of their poops became completely solid, uniform, good color, consistency, like best poops we ever had by adding vegetables. So we're going to start by cutting these vegetables up and using a food processor. I have celery along with cauliflower and broccoli. This is enough for me to make about 24 to 27 pounds of meat. So do this all at once, but I'm only going to show you how to make one today. Now, as you can see, I got this down pretty fine. As long as it's to the size of a bite-sized kibble, you're good. But this is kind of the size that I go for. I also put a paper towel on the bottom of this because normally if you're adding it live each and every single day, this will get kind of like stale over several days. If you put a paper towel on the bottom, you're good. Now, the good thing about making all this food is if you do it all in advance, it takes me like maybe 30 minutes to 45 minutes to make 8 3-pound sections. And so it's 24 pounds I can do in 30 minutes. You can freeze all that. It'll last up to 6 months. I'll leave that long. But this kind of like planning in advance, doing everything at once is really helpful for if you don't have the quote-unquote time to do this every single week. Sizes like this is probably too big for your cats. Some like bigger cats are fine. If you have a kitten. The thing about doing all this is that broccoli, cauliflower, and celery are things that you keep probably inside your fridge anyway. You can feed your family. I tend to buy the broccoli and cauliflower all together, use all of it because it's easier for me to make everything at once. I like scooping everything out. I'm not really into being a waster, so you want to make sure that you're not wasting any of the food. Unless you're that. Some people are like, it's fine, who cares? But I like to use every last bit that I can. I'm not considering every last crumb. We're not, like that crazy. But you do want to go ahead and scrape this out, both this part and the lid. Okay. So I make it in 3-pound sections, and 3 pounds is 6 cups of meat. So 25% of 6 cups would be. All right, now, if you're any good at math, 3 pounds of turkey is 6 cups of food. A 2/3 cup serving is just a bit over 10%. 0.6 would be 10%. This is about, 11%. So this is one I use all the time. I'm going to bring it over here. And as you can see, I have this beautiful station set up right here. We use Alaskan salmon oil. It gives a million different brands. Do not get this on your clothes, or on your sink, or on your counter, or on your towel. It does smell and will bleed and everything else. On top of that, we use 2 different supplements. It's called Cat Mix. Vitamins, minerals, amino acids, taurine. This one's called Feline Complete. It's another one, but it has enzymes in it to help with their digestion. Then we use Tomlyn Immune Support, but again, there are a million different lysine supplements. This is an immune booster. Then last, we use probiotics. Now, all these measurements that I've done are what I've tested time and time again to find the best recipe for my cats. There's always directions on there how much to use, but because I use these 2 in combination, I don't use the complete amount. And when I use too much of the lysine supplement, it actually gives them eye goobies, so I avoid using too much. I only use about 1/3 of what you're supposed to use. Now, this is ground raw turkey. This one does not expire until literally December the 1st, so we still right now have like an entire week to hold. When you close this today, you can make it in perfect time for it to be nice and fresh. If you're going to the grocery store to pick it out, you want to find turkey that's still red. If you see a gray turkey or brown turkey, walk away. Now, what I do is I take this scoop. It's not really rounded. Dump it in. And I use 1 squirt of the oil. Ooh, the oil's running low. Maybe get some more. This comes with a smaller scoop when you first buy it. I end up keeping one of the scoops from this because this bigger scoop was the perfect amount I'm going to put inside here. That's going to go in. I'm only making 1 right now in this video. We're going to put 1 scoop. This is the scoop that this came with, which I used for that one too, in case you missed that. Then this is supposed to be, I believe the actual directions are for daily administration, do 1/2 scoop twice daily or directed for a kitten, and for cats 6 months and older, we use 1 complete scoop. Now, right now I'm feeding 8 kittens, so technically I would be 4 of these scoops for the whole day. Actually, no, it'd be, yes. And so I'm using 4. I use a little bit more back when I have all those other cats to feed. 1 scoop of probiotic. Then this next ingredient is what makes and breaks what makes the cats, oh dang it, chicken broth. Now, it's Thanksgiving time, so the normal bone chicken broth that I buy was sold out. So this was the only chicken broth they had in the entire store, so please do not judge me for getting great value, low quality chicken broth. This is all we had. Okay, normally I get like the really expensive one that's like 3 times more than this. Now this is where it gets fun. I just guess. I start pouring it in on top of all this. I believe this is a 4 cup container. I can feel that the liquid's about right there right now. Yeah, it's right there. That's 1 cup. Again, I'm just guessing, because a lot of times we go back and put more in anyway. Then I'm gonna put some water in. And then James is gonna come over here and I'll show you how this process works. So, this is like gold. This is gold right here. This is how you do this and don't make a mess. Okay, so go from above. Okay, I'm gonna hold this like this. Don't hold it like this because your hand's gonna go numb. Use it like this. I'm gonna break up the middle very slowly. I'm not doing any fast movements. Okay, fast movements make messes. I'm gonna turn it. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm going in to the middle of the bowl. I'm making sure that all that turkey is nice and broken up. Turn. Now the kittens have not eaten yet today, so what's gonna happen is I'm gonna put part of this into a bowl, 2 different bowls, and then part of it and go upstairs. So now you have it like this. I'm weird, and to make sure it's really evenly mixed, I'm gonna mix both directions. So I'm gonna start, I'm pushing in and down, going counterclockwise. I like to stir the bowl with my hands, it's easier than going around the thing with your wrist. Then once the meat is pretty well evenly mixed up, which it is, I go the other way, and then back and forth. And I do this until visually I can tell that all the meat and the veggies have been dispersed. The veggies are really nice because they actually kind of are a good physical demonstration of how well everything's mixed up. Once the veggies look even, then everything else inside this is going to be even too, right? So, now, the feeding schedule. Cats need 3% to 5% of their body weight in daily just meat. If you fed them only meat, they need 3 to 5%. So if you had a 10-pound cat that was fully grown, that cat would need 0.3 pounds of food, right? Upstairs right now, we have 8 kittens, totaling about 3 pounds each on average, so we have 24 pounds. Because they're growing kittens, I give them 5%, which I believe is like 1.2 pounds per day. I'm also one of those people who just kind of feeds them until they're full. Like, if they're still crying after you give them food, they're not full yet. You should keep them again. One more. Because we just made a little bit over 3 pounds, right? So, they already had a little bit of snack from last night. So I'm eyeballing a third of this into 3 different containers. So this right now, if this was enough to feed, all my kittens for about 2.5 days, this is enough food for you to feed 1 kitten for an entire week. And so, it's pretty great. In the fridge they go, so we're going to use those. And the last thing I added to their food, the only reason why I put kibble inside their diet is because about 1/3 of the people who get cats from me want their cats on kibble. And if they've never had kibble before, you're going to have a hard time transitioning. So because I've been including 25% kibble since day one, since the moms were before being in the nursing, they've had kibble introduced for a long time. When Jupiter and Harry went home, their mom transitioned them to kibble in 1 week. Now right now, that's about 2 cups of meat. And I put 3/4 of a cup of kibble. So they're somewhere between 25 and 33%. I always recommend mixing up the kibble live the day after you give it to them because it gives them nice little crunchy bits to hold on to. But I will tell you right now, look for an upcoming video because you can get this on Amazon. Okay, this is the turkey recipe. The turkey recipe is a little more expensive than the chicken recipe, but you can make 16 pounds of dehydrated food. All you do is add water. This can be a topping for the food. You can sprinkle and mix it in for flavor. You can put it inside the bowl, add water, and then put the food in. There's a million ways to do this, but I've used this for a long time. And then I stopped buying it about a year ago, and then recently decided I kind of go back to this again because they really like the flavor of this, and it also has additional vegetables and stuff in it. And all the amino acids, and has good nutrients and taste, and whole goodness, it's organic, it's yummy. And then the next part, the most difficult part, is you go upstairs, and you feed the kittens. Yay, we're all done. Now, I'm not a messy maker, but a lot of people are. So in the event that you get messes, make sure you clean that area and sanitize with antibacterials because meat does have things in it that can make you sick because you're a human, not a cat. The reason why they can digest raw meat the way they are is because their stomachs are much more acidic than ours, and they're designed to handle raw meat. Some people are wholly against it. Some people will only feed raw, purists. I like the mixing of everything. I think it makes a nice balance for everybody. Some people include bones inside theirs. I tried that for a long time, and it was a lot of work. And I've been feeding them this diet now for almost 5 years, and we've had no issues whatsoever, ever, from this diet. So enjoy.